Hello, and welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today, we're diving into a topic that sounds straight out of science fiction, but is a very real ambition for humanity: transforming Mars. Imagine our red celestial neighbor, currently cold and barren, into a vibrant world with blue skies, flowing rivers, and lush landscapes. This incredible process, called terraforming, is the pinnacle of human technological aspiration. But it's not just about asterisks, can we do it? We also have to ask, should we reshape another world? As we embark on a new era of space exploration, the idea of a habitable Mars is incredibly enticing, promising a potential future for us beyond Earth. So let's explore this grand endeavor. First, let's get a clear picture of Mars as it is today. It's a pretty tough place for life as we know it. The atmosphere? Super thin, less than 1% of Earth's, and mostly carbon dioxide. This means temperatures swing wildly, averaging a chilly -67 degrees Celsius, and can plummet to -125 at night. Brr. Liquid water, essential for life, can't exist stably on the surface. It would just boil or freeze instantly due to that low pressure. Plus, Mars doesn't have a global magnetic field like Earth's, which shields us from nasty solar and cosmic radiation. So the Martian surface gets blasted with high-energy particles. And the soil, the regolith, even contains perchlorates, toxic stuff for us, and many Earth organisms. But here's the intriguing part. Evidence like ancient riverbeds and mineral deposits suggests Mars was once warmer and wetter, with a thicker atmosphere. This makes it a tantalizing candidate for a planetary makeover. So how would we even begin to make Mars habitable? It's a colossal, multi-generational project. The main goals are to warm it up, thicken its atmosphere, get some liquid water flowing, and shield it from radiation. Let's talk about warming the planet and building an atmosphere first. This is step one. One idea is to release massive amounts of potent greenhouse gases to trap solar heat. Scientists once thought about importing ammonia ices or even manufacturing CFCs. However, a 2018 NASA study threw some cold water on this, concluding Mars just doesn't have enough accessible CO2 in its polar ice caps or rocks to significantly thicken the atmosphere and warm the planet using current tech. Even vaporizing all the polar ice caps would only double the current Martian pressure, far from what's needed for liquid water. Other ideas include giant orbital mirrors to reflect sunlight onto the poles, vaporizing CO2 and water ice. More recently, in 2024, a study proposed using engineered dust particles or aerosols. Imagine fabricating tiny reflective nanorods from iron and aluminum found right there in Martian soil and launching them into the atmosphere. This could create a greenhouse effect, potentially raising temperatures by over 50 degrees Fahrenheit or about 28 degrees Celsius within decades, a much more efficient idea using local resources. Another concept is spreading dark material on the ice caps to absorb more sunlight. And then there's the more dramatic approach, importing volatiles by redirecting ammonia-rich asteroids or comets to impact Mars, releasing greenhouse gases and water. But the scale and control needed for that are immense. One paper even suggests multiple asteroid impacts from the Kuiper Belt would be necessary. Once we get Mars warmer, and with a thicker atmosphere, what about water? Well, Mars actually has a lot of water ice at its poles, and likely extensive subsurface ice, maybe even liquid aquifers. If temperatures and pressure rise enough, this ice could melt, forming rivers, lakes, and maybe even small oceans in the northern lowlands. Managing this water would be key. Next up, a protective shield. Mars lost its natural magnetosphere billions of years ago, so any new atmosphere and surface life would need protection from solar wind and cosmic radiation. An artificial magnetosphere might be the answer. Ideas range from a powerful magnetic dipole at a special point in space called the Mars L1 Lagrange point, to generating a plasma torus of charged particles around the planet, perhaps using material from its moon Phobos. This would need insane amounts of energy, possibly from fusion reactors, and is a huge engineering challenge. Finally, after all that, we'd introduce life. This would be a gradual process, starting with hardy microbes, engineered to survive the initial harsh conditions. They could help clean up toxins like perchlorates and start producing oxygen through photosynthesis. Over centuries, we could introduce more complex plants, and eventually animals, to build a functioning ecosystem. Research into things like desiccation-resistant crops for Mars could even benefit us back here on Earth. Now, despite these fascinating concepts, terraforming Mars into Earth 2.0 is still a very distant dream. There are some massive hurdles. As NASA pointed out, there might not be enough easily accessible CO2 to really bulk up the atmosphere and warm the planet effectively with current tech. And even if we build an atmosphere, without that strong global magnetic field, it would slowly get stripped away by solar wind over geological time, just like Mars' original atmosphere. Then there's the low gravity, only about 38% of Earth's. The long-term effects on human health, like muscle atrophy and bone density loss, are a big unknown for permanent living. Low gravity also makes it harder for a planet to hold onto a dense atmosphere. The Martian soil is another issue, with those toxic perchlorates and fine dust that could infiltrate equipment and harm health. We'd need to neutralize or remove these before any large-scale farming. And let's not forget the sheer timescales and cost. We're talking centuries, maybe millennia, requiring unimaginable resources and a sustained global commitment. The energy needed for many of these techniques is just staggering. Many of these proposed terraforming technologies are still theoretical or way beyond what we can currently do. Beyond these huge scientific and technological challenges, there are some profound ethical questions we absolutely have to consider. The biggest one? Planetary protection and the potential for indigenous Martian life. If there are microbes living on or below the surface, terraforming could destroy them. That would be an act of irreversible cosmic vandalism. Thoroughly checking for native life is crucial before any large-scale terraforming. Then there's the question of Mars' intrinsic value. Does it have a right to exist as it is? Some argue we should preserve the Martian wilderness, its unique geology, and its stark beauty, just like we protect unique areas on Earth. Terraforming would completely and irrevocably change all that. Think about the resources too. The colossal expense and effort could be used to tackle urgent environmental and societal problems right here on Earth. Though, on the flip side, technologies developed for Mars could end up benefiting us here. And who would own a terraformed Mars? How would it be governed? These are complex issues of space law, potential colonialism, and even conflict. We wouldn't want to repeat the exploitative colonial mistakes of Earth's past. Finally, what is humanity's role? Is it our destiny or right to reshape other worlds for our needs? Or should we focus on adapting ourselves, or simply preserving what we already have? Given how monumental full terraformation is, some more modest approaches are also on the table. Think of them as stepping stones. One idea is paraterraforming, or creating world houses. These would be large, enclosed, habitable environments like domes on the Martian surface, maintaining Earth-like conditions inside. This would allow for settlements without altering the whole planet, and is seen as a more feasible near-term option. We could also build subsurface habitats, living underground for natural protection from radiation and temperature swings. Or we could try localized terraforming, focusing on transforming smaller regions like specific craters or valleys first. And while it's highly speculative and ethically thorny, some have even pondered the long-term idea of genetically engineering humans to be better suited to the Martian environment. So the dream of a terraformed Mars, a vibrant second Earth, continues to inspire us. While a full transformation is likely centuries away, packed with immense scientific and ethical hurdles, the journey itself could drive incredible technological innovation and deepen our understanding of planets. Some recent research suggests that initial steps, like warming the planet, might be more achievable than we once thought, especially with novel techniques like those engineered nanorods. However, creating a stable, breathable atmosphere and that all-important protective magnetosphere remains a monumental challenge. The motivations are compelling, ensuring humanity's long-term survival by becoming a multi-planet species, unlocking vast scientific knowledge, and fulfilling our innate drive for exploration. But these ambitions must be weighed against the profound responsibility of altering an entire world and the potential impact on any life that might already call Mars home. If we do pursue making Mars habitable, It will be a slow, incremental journey, from robotic explorers to human outposts, then perhaps enclosed settlements, and only much, much later, if ever, to full planetary engineering. Each step will demand not just scientific brilliance, but also careful ethical deliberation. The future of Mars habitability isn't just about what we Kundari do, but about the wisdom and foresight we bring to the challenge. What do you think? It's definitely a fun fact to ponder.